challenge after a few days off due to various work commitments and other bits and bobs. Just a quick run through how the season's gone so far before we get on to round 10, which is the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim. The only time I think I'm going to be on this game using the Hockenheim circuit. Doesn't come back to 2016 as I remember, but not the best of seasons so far, almost halfway through. P14, 4 points. We've not done ourselves much help with getting the Lotus team up the point of the Constructors' Championship as I would wish, but hopefully with a few days off of this and a little bit of an encouragement, we'll see some results tonight. A bit important though, we try and get through this evening without making any DNFs. There's a lot of pressure I'm putting on myself because I really want to get the Lotus team in this 2014 season before we move on to the 2015 game. Well, no, it's the same game, but season, 2015 season, with a little bit of momentum. Work to be done. It won't be easy, but Hockenheim does offer opportunities, and potentially could be just a bit fortunate. Let's see. Now, the intention is always with this series, we start from the back. We try and get as many places as possible. Not on the hardest difficulty because I race on a controller, and I'm not the most proud of using a controller 90% of the time. But once hoping that this will go to plan today. If we can get a good result in Germany, that would hopefully build momentum. But we'll see. We will see. Oh, I need to retire down first. Let's do that. There we go. Starting last. No flashbacks, so we'll just don't have to restart. Oh no, I've hit the wall.
Pastor Maldonado is out of qualifying.
Yes, let's get on with this. Now, simple task, just get points. A few good opportunities to overtake here, and hopefully, with a little bit of fortune and limited error, we'll get a result today. But it will depend on a few things going my way. Having a few days off, been a bit busy, hopefully we'll have a good result tonight.
Welcome to the Rhine Valley and the Hockenheim Ring, where we await the start of the highly anticipated German Grand Prix. So let's join the action down on the grid. After yesterday's qualifying session, it's Nico Rosberg who's put himself in the driving seat for the race, securing pole position with a thumping lap when it mattered. He'll want to stay up.
Oof, those Mercedes are very dangerous. Usual trick, we'll start on the prime, try and make the most of getting more laps out of the tyre and hopefully get ahead of a few cars in the pit stops. Let's go. It's raining already? Yeah, it's wet. Oh, the minute the lights go out, the rain starts to fall, which is just going to make my task that bit harder. Collide with Fiat, which is not helping in my attempts to make progress. Got down a few cars, Susil's one of them. I think he's still there, he is. Ericsson's been dispatched in next to no time. And from last, we've already made up 6 positions. But there is rain. I'm not sure how much will fall between now and the end of this lap. Now the inside of Grosjean, he's going to have to give me room. And only just keeps the position. Now, I was a bit naive there, thinking the car would stop in time, and it did. Just more or less not getting me to plough through my teammate. Doing it again. Got some level of control around the outside, and oh my god, he's still there. Grosjean is still there. He's still there. I've gone wide. Kept the position though. Was always going to be a difficult one to call in the end, but thankfully, mercifully, we've made it through. God, this is going to be a really challenging race, especially if the weather, as it's seeming to be, will get worse. Also must remember to stay on the track 2 times off the circuit then. My word. Oop. So okay, we made up a good amount of positions, 8 spots since the start of the race. Definitely need to get a move on though. Gutierrez is there. He's been utilising my slipstream, but I'm going to have the line into the hairpin. We'll certainly get a bit more grip coming out of the corner. The reason I use the racing line is on a pad I'm not as good, as confident in my braking points as I am on a wheel. So I have got one, I just need to set it up accordingly. I haven't tried it momentarily today, but it needs to be fine-tuned or what have you. So far making very good progress on the prime tyre. Catching up to Vern Magnussen ahead of us. In IRL I do miss this circuit. It really did offer up some wonderful racing and sometimes some extremely good overtaking. Actually drama. DRS will have to move on Magnussen. Definitely going to get him down here. Definitely got him. Oh, nudge, and maybe a double, maybe a double. I should have DRS coming into onto the straight. I have full revs available, but so does Magnussen. He's going to have to stay in there. You're going to have to queue up, mate, because I'm right next to Jean-Eric Verne. It is close, but that should just about be my position. And I'm now up to P12. This is really good racing. I'm enjoying going around Hockenheim here and getting through the field. It's just a matter of how long will it be until the track gets so greasy that it's impossible to manage the grip. This is a really complex situation. It's not wet enough yet to pit. That's the first thing I have to consider. When it does get dangerous is when I start sliding around. Basically, I don't want another Canada style situation to happen again, and that's the last thing I need. Tense down on that lap. Had DRS though, so that may have been a factor into helping me get a decent lap time. Knock it down in a moment to normal. I am clear of Magnussen, who's in a battle, closing in on the 3 cars, fighting for the minor placings in the points. A little too deep on the brakes. That will, however, set me back a little bit on my pursuit of Button. Go in the race. It's the most important thing. Got a long way to go. Anything can happen. Certainly got a lot working out at the moment in my favour. Car's definitely behaving well in this Grand Prix. Makes me look forward to 2016 a bit more, so I can have a little bit more control of how my car is developed, because there's very little you can do on this game. You can't really do much R&D, or you can't really do anything. You're stuck with the cars that are all the drivers in this championship. So I'm having to work with. Just having the drivers I have on the track. That was Everton's corner cutting. I'm not proud of that. But if anything, I'm sort of utilising the track limits a little too bad. Not quite poorly, but they're getting me closer and closer to the cars in front. The Mercedes are having a real ding-dong up front. I get my braking points here at this time. Just a little too early getting in there, but that's fine. In the corner. Still got work to do to catch Button ahead, and he's battling Sergio Perez at the time, Force India. Starting now to just slowly cause a problem. Weather forecast?
It's likely it's going to be less for a while.
It's going to be different. Okay, so it's when the crossover point will be reached. At the moment, it's not aquaplaning. It's not as bad as I was going to expect it to be. But I've wrong.
Perfect situation, but I don't think we have cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
Okay, probably on the safe side. Set intermediate tyre.
Repeat that. There's interference.
Can't do that on this. I can do that one. Set intermediate.
Couldn't receive that. Repeat the message.
I don't have to do it manually. Lost about
Inters on your next
8
stop.
tenths to the cars in front in this lap. Well, they are battling, so with the DRS it's certainly helping again. Going deep on the brakes because I'm not paying attention to where the braking points are. I've got to try and stay out of Magnussen's DRS and Vern's DRS while still trying to close the gap as best as possible to the three cars ahead. Oof. It's not a friendly. It's not friendly. That turn in 3.1 now. I think it might just be that it's not so much that I'm not only struggling, them three being within a second of each other means I have to work extremely hard to stay within a distance of them.
The pit window is opened.
Oh,
Right, tyre situation. Very good for the time being, but you are going to start to notice the wear, so make sure it
oops.
doesn't catch you out.
Yeah, this car is not.
You need to slow down before
Is
hitting the
not
corners.
exactly doing what I wanted to do going into the corners now. That turn in, I did turn in quite
Standard
early.
revs. Cargo is running standard revs.
I'm going to box either this lap or the next one. And I think I'm going to stick with my instincts and go on to intermediates. If they heat up, they heat up, but at this rate, I just don't know how much worse it will get. So let's just see how they do coming out of the pits, or what they go into the pits, we go out of the pits.
You need to pit in this lap.
Let's put this out. Right, well, maybe the next one, but we'll see. Unboxing in the top 10. Let's do the same. Stay out. Well, that's not a sensible idea in the beginning.
Closing. The pit window is closing this lap. The tyre situation is pretty touch and go right now. We think the slicks may still be quicker, but it's very close, and you're going to struggle to keep them in the temperature window. The inters are ready when you need them.
I am ready to box. I'm boxing this lap. Box this lap?
Copy.
This is the one. Maybe now it would be wise to just take the hit and go on to the inters and just see what happens. Because for pitting now, I would have fallen much further back in the field. And I wouldn't be able to realistically be in the hunt to catch the three cars in front that way. Yeah, now's a good time. Gotta do it
Box,
now.
box.
Okay, I'm on the way, I'm on the way. So I've gone a lap longer than I would have liked to. That's going to lose me a bit of time, but here we are. We made it into the pits. It's now just a matter of the crews doing their job. Button pitting ahead of me. No undercut today.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled
On
pit stops.
inters, the weather is not bad. Let's see how these feel. up a little. Driver behind.
A 2-second gap separates you. 9 laps to go.
Okay. Well, it's okay. I think this is not as bad as I was fearing being on the tyre, but let's just see if I can just manage the levels a bit. Is it really
Okay, at this rate we'll finish with a little extra fuel, so you have some inherent time faster engine room for a bit.
Driver in front.
Hulkenberg is ahead of you. 4 seconds separate you. 9 laps to go.
Few cars pitting. We're going to move up a couple of places.
I know these conditions look pretty terrible, but that water is draining away. I think the intermediate is going to stay the tyre of choice for a while yet.
I think I've made the right choice then, sticking it on this lap, the lap of like pitting it. Okay, let's get close to Hulkenberg. I should have him. I should have him. Button and Perez, oh, they're not on the right tyre either. They're on primes. They'll warm up okay, but I think I could have him here. Weather's suiting me a little bit better than them. They're having to compromise going on to slick tyres, and I can make the most of this. Oh my god. Here's a good place to do it. Here we go, down into the stadium section. Nice move. Now into the points. Jensen Button, we're going to have him too. Little nudge, but I got him. I would call it a nudge, but I'm up to P8, P9. Massa is 10 seconds up the road. I'm on the right tyre, and I think, permitting all is well,
Hamilton's out in front.
I could get more than P8 here, P9 sorry. That's if it gets worse. Driver in front.
Massa is ahead of you. 9 seconds separate you. You're closing in by 3 seconds a lap. 7 laps to go.
Yeah, I think I'm... For once, could it be that there's a masterstroke strategy call I have made right in the middle of a race that I didn't expect to be wet, but, well, could reward me with more than just the minor points. Let's see. We've got enough laps remaining to make the ground up on some of the cars ahead. And I'm making up that time considerably quickly. They're all pitting! Some of them are pitting! I might be rewarded here. I need to just make sure that I navigate these corners. Yes, I think I'm going to get really lucky here. Here we go. Into turn 1. We are on the podium. My God, this is unbelievable. We are in the pit. We are up to P3. Podium. A podium could be possible here, but we just got to manage this car a little bit. Everyone pitting onto intermediate tyres. I have 5 laps on these tyres. They've got to warm them up, whereas I've got a chance at closing the gap to the 2 cars in front. An unbelievable situation I have found myself in here. All I've also got to remember is that the cars behind me obviously are very quick, so it's all about getting a decent lap time in and ensuring I don't make too many errors now. It's going okay. It's going very well. 4.5 seconds to Rosberg and Ricardo, who is behind me by 3.8. So looking okay. A little skittish going through here, but all right. Something I can't do is keep the car off the curbs, but I can still manage it. I manage it well.
Rosberg's next, just 5 seconds separate you.
Okay, good. It really is a race here to keep this position. What a result for the team this would be, and for Pastor Maldonado. Only picked him for just for the banter, but it seems as if I might be getting rewarded here.
You have a 4-second lead on the car behind.
I've improved the gap on Ricardo. This is an unbelievable race. Surely he's not going to do it. Let's see. We've had a lot of bad luck this season. Catching Rosberg. I'm not going to win this race, but I am getting closer and closer to that Mercedes in front. That may be quite a scout if I can get it. If I can get it. It's the fastest car on the grid in this season, so it might be a little bit of a tall order catching him here. Come on.
Rosberg's close to 5/10 of that faster than you.
As I say, fastest car on the grid. I think the matter really now is if we can't catch him, we hang on. Establishing that Mercedes is good.
Disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline.
Good. 3 laps to go. We are 4.5 seconds away from Rosberg. It means I'm good in the first sector. I'm a much more braver driver through sector 1. It's sectors 2 and 3 where I just struggle to keep myself equally as confident, especially with the weather bucketing down as it is. Come on, we can do this. It will be a hard-earned podium if I can hang on here. That's World Championship P2 when on a pad when I had no time to set up my wheel in France. That race, well, I never expected to finish as well as I did, especially coming in so late. Well, not so late in the night, as late as I did to start. My word, that would be amazing if I could. This would match it, or if not, it would be a close comparison to that race. If I could see this through, it's just really bad out here now.
Ricardo's catching you by about 3/10 each lap.
Okay, lost 3/10 to Ricardo there. Bit too understeery going into turn 3, so you'll get a couple of tenths back on that one. Still got a cushion. Got work to do there. Ricardo's there, within sight. I am confident he will close that gap further before races end, but I think at this point I'm managing it well. The tyres are holding up and I'm not finding any significant issues in trying to see the race through. I may have enough fuel to knock it up for the next couple of laps at the higher engine setting, just to help me keep that gap. Right, let's do this. Over the line, we are 7.2.
The stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now on.
3 seconds to Ricardo. I've got enough fuel to get me to the end. Yeah, perfect. I've got enough fuel. Tyres heating up a little bit.
Should have heightened up plenty by now. We're down to around 25% fuel remaining.
Good Lord Almighty, here we are then. 2 laps remaining. And the shot at putting this Lotus onto the podium. Our first significant result of the season, if this stays the way it does. If it stays the way it has been going so far. Oh, the DNF at Monaco stings, and I'm still certain if I'd done been a bit more disciplined, I'd have stood a chance. But who knows? Somebody's pitting. But we have one more lap to go.
Rosberg's a second a lap faster than you. 1 second.
To Marussia. I've opened the gap significantly to Ricciardo. Or close the gap. He's closing, but I've kept it marginally well enough. Well, within a second. I should be in a second within Bianchi. DRS is available, so that will mean should be good. Rosberg is being held up here, but I think he may have either passed the lap. He has passed the lap car, I think. It looks clear to me. Ricciardo's going to get held up, though. That's going to help me great. That will help. Little bit of an unbalance there. The understeer sets in going into the Mercedes-Benz corner. Ooh, so it's happening again. But I am just about okay. Looks like Hamilton's about to cross the line to win the race. And he does. Wins in Germany, where Rosberg will come home second. Oh, just got to make sure I don't fluff it here. Here we go. Taking it into the final corner. And he's done it! The first podium of the season! My God, that feels like a reward. Pastor Maldonado puts that Lotus into P3. What a fantastic result for the team. A magnificent podium. Behind the 2 Mercedes. Strategy call on point. And we've got ourselves a big haul in our championship chase. Well done, that man right there. And what a result for the team. Oh, blimey, that is unbelievable. That's brilliant, that is brilliant. Behind the 2 Mercedes, sure.
Another win for the
what's the result?
Team. What a car they've got this year.
Yes, definitely. It was a brilliant race, and one that you can tell the fans really enjoyed.
After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
I particularly don't want to look at this too much. That wasn't intended to happen, but yeah, this was a bit of an annoying thing, but we'll ignore that. Ignore that. P3! What a result! What a result! It took one very bold strategy call, starting on primes, and waiting for it to just be wet enough to stick on the intermediates. And there it is! That makes up for my shambles in Canada. Double good. It was very, very poor that day. And to successfully negotiate that and get on the podium, what a brilliant result. Brilliant result. That's propelled us up to P11 in the championship in the drivers' standings. Closing the gap to the McLarens. 11 behind Jenson Button and a more modest 5 to Magnussen. So that's our next target, to get into the top 10 with those two. And we've helped Lotus skip above Toro Rosso. And now also 4 points off of Force India. They are really, really within our grasps. What a great result. A great result. And it's safe to say, I'm pretty chuffed with how that's turned out for our team. Brilliant result for them. Podium in Germany. Great performers. So the next Grand Prix is at the Hungaroring, and that's where the next episode of this will come from. So, please hit the like button. That's a brilliant achievement for the team today, getting a fantastic result on the podium in a rain-soaked German Grand Prix. Maldonado getting close to the top 10 in the championship and helping Lotus ever so close to P6 now. I could just see something brewing in the near future. The Hungaroring is not an easy circuit. I will certainly look to utilise any fortunes like we did here at that race. Hit the like button, subscribe for more of the Lotus Alpine Challenge, and we'll give you the next episode very, very soon. But until then, thanks and goodbye.